And we are back with Drop 5. Sorry for the delay, guys, but we did get you Drop 5. Was getting a little bit worried there. Had some teams not show up and stuff. But yeah, we got... this actually, I think, is a rescheduled match.
It is a
they're playing
rescheduled
tonight.
match.
So they are graciously allowing us to watch their match, even though they aren't obligated to do so. But that's fine by me, because that means we get to bring you guys some more MechWarrior action. Let's take a look immediately at some of the decks here. On the oh, by the way, the teams are playing is HHOD Team 2, who is on Team 1, and Atari Scorpions, who's on Team 2. On
Yeah, that's a little confusing at first, isn't it?
Yes, multi-team units. HHOD bringing the dual Kodiak 3s, Hunchback 2Cs, Warhammer Black Widow and Grasshopper, Oxide, and Firestarter A. On the other side, Atari Scorpions, who we did watch the other night. It's actually Flynn Hassick in the Raven 4X this time instead of Radek. Radek moving over into the Grasshopper. That's pretty cool that we can say that. We can be like, well, Radek was in the Raven 4X last time.
Yeah, he was.
They actually brought dual Raven 4Xs, so I guess it worked out well enough for them that they're going to bring two of them. But then Radek moving over into that Grasshopper and dual Kodak 3s, dual Hunchback 2Cs on top of that. So... let's see. Atari Scorpions proved the last time that we watched them that they are very good at map control. The question on everybody's mind is HHOD going to be able to come up with some sort of tactic to leverage that map control back from Atari Scorpions? And that is the question of the day. Let's take a look. We are over on the Atari Scorpions side, taking a look at some of the builds here. 2 Gauss, 2 PPC on both Kodiak 3s, Raven 4Xs, obviously going for a much more rangy deck. Those Hunchback 2Cs, 3 large pulse lasers each, and sporting the desert camo. That is pretty slick. Going all out on the AS side, forcing all of their guys to bring that desert camo. Excellent.
I like the effort. I like
the
Adam
effort.
Steiner with the bold move with they made one mistake. They attacked his home planet. I like it.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Oh man, it is the quad AC5 Black Widow. That mech is so much fun to play. Just
It is
recently
absolutely
bought it.
fun. I love that Black Widow so much. So we do have a heavy push for HHOD up the Epsilon corner, bringing their guys to bear. Heavy DACA, heavy on the DACA, large pulse laser, medium laser on the Grasshopper, and then, of course, that Firestarter A, which has fallen a little bit out of favor lately. 8 small pulse lasers, still able
Still
to
a
do a lot of
solid
work.
mech.
Still
Yeah.
a solid mech. It's more of other mechs kind of past it, but it didn't get worse necessarily. There was a slight
Yeah.
nerf to it and stuff that did affect it. But some initial trades into the Hunchback 2C, taking some shots, mostly to the right arm. You can see him smoking there a little bit. But AS has a huge spread all over the map. They are definitely going for that map control. So
HHAD should just push right into
they
them.
need to push right
Take
into
advantage
them
of
and
that.
try and take advantage of it for sure, because while they are able to push on the low grounds, half of Atari Scorpions is not in a position to lend any of the fire. They are rotating across, and they need to get up there and try and take out, at the very least, taking out Radek in the Grasshopper would be a huge win for HHOD, especially since they're not taking a lot of return fire during this charge.
Yeah, this
He
is a great
does
opportunity
get
for them.
away.
He gets around the corner.
He
Oh,
does get around
no.
the corner by the skin of his teeth. So HHOD has done quite a bit of moving and has dealt quite a bit of damage to Radek, but he does slip away, and now Atari Scorpions is setting up their firing line, and they're going to continue. They're actually capping Theta, and so HHOD did all that running to slightly damage one Grasshopper, and now they got to do it all over again.
And Radek goes down. They did get him.
He
He got stuck on the hill.
on the climb and actually got taken out. So that is
It's
unfortunate for him, and that is definitely big for HHOD. The HHOD, they definitely do not need. They should not throw that opportunity away. Being down Radek is a very good pilot, and it's in a very powerful mech, and losing him that early on could be costly. But I think AS is going to have kind of a fire lid under him now because of that, and they're going to play more aggressively. They're starting to get up, and they've got HHOD in a very bad position here. This is not a good place to fight, and AS knows that, and they're going to press them and force them to fight in this corner. At the very least, they're getting trades on the cross, but you can't continue this tour for much longer. They are
No, you
up on
can't. You gotta get
caps,
up
but
on-
they're getting
you gotta get up.
shredded the entire time. Damage
This Hunchback's
definitely.
going to be the first one to come up here. Let's see how much damage he takes. He has to commit. They cannot stop on the ramps here. They've got to get up top on that higher level.
They're gonna
And
have
I don't
to.
think the
I don't think
Kodiaks
they
are
can
able
climb
to.
here though. They're not able
Yeah.
to climb here. They're gonna have to go up to where they actually have accessibility, up near Theta here, or even all the way back to this land bridge and this ramp here to get back up. But they're being pursued by those Ravens and Bradley in the Hunchback. They feel that they can safely come up and start laying some of this fire down on them. Thankfully
leading
for
the way is a
HHOD, they're not
Kodiak.
doing it completely without taking return fire, though. So they're making it dangerous for Antari Scorpions to peek. Damage, though, in favor of AS overall. And they're just basically surgically just stripping these mechs down whenever they can. Trades definitely going in favor of AS, even being a mech down. And HHOD has to realize that they're failing on the trades and try and push something somewhere. Get this Arctic or the Firestarter up there. Get him doing some work or something. It's hard to say what HHOD can do, and they're actually doubling back to the left side now. They don't have
I'm not sure if
easy
that's the
access.
best
I don't know if
strategy
it's
for
the best
them,
place
yeah.
to go. They are down on caps, but they're up on points still. But this constant touring back and forth, all it's doing is giving AS the opportunity to just lay some damage
Keep
down
working
on
them
them.
down,
And
yeah.
eventually they're going to catch somebody out, like this Hunchback perhaps. They're going to catch them with their pants down, and they're going to start stripping these mechs out one by one. I don't think either team is necessarily out here. I mean, HHOD is behind. They've got a long way to go to bring it back, but they're not out at this point. They can still do work. But
Well, they are behind in damage, but they do have the kill advantage, which can be a big thing if you can bring more firepower to the battle than the enemy can.
They definitely can't afford
But they've
to lose
gotta
the mechs.
press that
is this going to be
advantage.
an airstrike coming in? Just misses. Good dodge there, keeping it in once he saw the smoke. They were
have to
able to
press
take
this
Sigma.
advantage.
They were able to take Sigma with that Firestarter, bravely just kind of dodging around. And we've got a moving power position, doing what they can, keeping that Hunchback in the back, keeping him from getting hit. This one is trailing, though, and is able to get hit with some Gauss. And then here comes that
Now
4X
they can get up
right
here.
up
They've
into the
gotta get up
backfield,
high.
getting that extra little bit of scratch in there. They are being followed, and that's very bad for them. Now, I would say AS is on a breachable level, and I think they need to realize that and get in there. It's time to take them
they
in.
need to get in here. It's time to get up top.
They are definitely in a breachable position. It's time to go, and it's time to start dealing out this damage. AS is starting to take some hits. Bradley in the Hunchback down to 57%. Petzold down to 68%. HHOD is actually doing pretty well if they can keep these Hunchbacks alive and keep
And
that
I don't
firepower
like their
going
decision
downfield.
to stay low, though. They've got to get that high ground.
They are conceding the opportunity here to AS, and AS is just slowly backing away from that position now. They had an opportunity, I think, to get
Yeah.
on there and start whipping some of that damage downfield, but now they're just opting to basically get slow poked again by the 4X. That's dangerous. Bradley coming up for another dangerous peak on
I'd
the
love
left
to
side
see
here.
those light mechs go chase down that 4X. They are brawler light mechs. They can win that battle.
If Bradley loses this peak, that could be pretty devastating for him. He's got to be careful. He does take a good hit, but he does deal some of it out as well. We got a Hunchback Petzold going up top, and they've seen him. He's got to be careful. They could get all of their lasers on him if he peeks that too aggressively. There's some good docking coming in from Talk Polite, but he took some return fire from, I believe that's the 4X on the right side. He's in a bad position, and they've
And Talk
moved
Polite
up
does
and
go
have
down.
taken him down. So it is 1-1, but now AS is coming up for
Yeah,
the
here
kill.
comes AS being aggressive. They want to get these kills. They want to get this match over with. I think they've let HHOD kind of stick around, and I don't know if they like that.
No, but they have to protect some of their weaker mechs. They're getting some of their heavier guys to the front. Adam Steiner here, 81% in the Kodiak, moving up, and he should be taking point any second now. That's going to be brutal, seeing an 81% mech walking right up to the front. That Oxide at 99% is just not doing really much of anything, and this is where he needs to shine right here. Take that Kodiak down as quick as possible, but he's walking away from him. They're playing the cap game. They've called the cap game. That is what they have committed to at this point. That
And I don't think
Oxide
it's going to work. There's too many mechs
on the
available
way
right
out.
now for AS.
There is one sitting at Theta. Now the Firestarter is going to move up and try and take out that 4X, but he's about to get shot from all angles, and he gets lagged. There's a brave move to try and rush down the 4X. He couldn't cap Theta with that incoming fire, but his leg was too weak, and they were able to take it out. easily. HHOD putting all their stock in the pretty much completely fresh Jenner Oxide to try and go play the cap game, but it's
There's
going to
just
be a
too many
tall
mechs
order
available,
with
I
that many
think.
mechs alive. Absolutely. I think this Jenner should have been focusing a little bit more, especially when they started getting up in their face, focusing more on putting damage downfield. I don't feel like he was utilizing his mech to the fullest, and seeing how hurt some of these AS mechs are, if he contributed, it could have made a big difference flipping some of those over. So he's going to have a jump on this Raven 4X. If he can do it aggressively enough, he might be able to kill it in even one shot. Let's see if he can get that shot downfield. Surprise! Ah, just not
Nope,
enough.
not quite.
He's
Yep.
Oh, there it is. There
Oh,
it
he
is.
got it.
He took
Yeah.
down Connex, and he's getting down relatively unscathed. He's going to try for the reversal of Kappa, but it's going to be a 5 cap now in favor of AS. That's not
It's too
going to
much.
go in their favor.
Yeah, it's too much.
This would be, at this point, impossible for HHOD to pull it off. He can maybe get a shot on Petzold as he comes across here. Maybe. He's just watching the point at this point, but I'm thinking this is definitely in favor of AS here. It was hard fought. Yeah. I think that HHOD missed some cues, missed some opportunities to get up into the fight and do some.
And I think
work.
if they had gotten, if they had gotten up higher at different points during that match, I really think that match could have gone a little differently. I will be honest, I have been impressed with how HHOD played overall in this match. Like you said, I think they missed some opportunities. I think maybe watching the cast hopefully will give them an idea of some of the opportunities that they had, and they could do it a little differently. But I expected this not to be that close, to be completely honest with you. And HHOD has proved me wrong tonight. I think even with this performance, it's going to look like, a fairly uneven match. I don't think it really was.
Those the Kodiak though, still pulling 73%. Gilakuda, and of course Steiner was very fresh.
Yeah, those Kodiaks were very fresh.
That definitely is kind of an equalizer. If there was any doubt that AS didn't win this one handily, having those fresh Kodiaks,
ouch.
That pretty much seals the deal in my mind. But I do think HHOD was doing a decent job trading. I don't think they were winning the trades, but they weren't just getting folded in on. And I think it really came down to identifying when it's time to go. And honestly, it reminded me a little bit of KCOM versus Crows, where KCOM moved up into an attackable position. And then Crows took advantage of it, jumped on him, and won it. And I think HHOD had that opportunity to get up top and start brawling with AS. And they didn't take that opportunity. They stayed in the low ground, and they just continued to get picked off. And then AS backed up, and then when they saw the opportunity, they moved in and got some of the key kills to seal the deal. Big Stretch only pulling 90 in that Hunchback. He was protecting his mech a majority of the game, but just wasn't able to put that damage downfield. FS9 with a Kimbox. I think those lights could have done a little bit more. Slapcouse did do 263, but for as long as this battle went and for as fresh as that Oxide went, I feel like he just wasn't taking enough risks to try and seal the deal on some of these mechs. Seeing how many of them were really critical and were on the verge of dying, taking a risk in a fresh Oxide, as long as it doesn't get you killed, obviously, but taking a risk to get that shot in there and get out.
I like that statement. Take a risk as long as you don't die and lose the match.
That's the key. That's my mad moment right now, is take the risk, get the kill. I see it happen all the time where it's like, why is that light mech running into the middle of everybody? Oh, he just got the kill and then got out unscathed. Well, I'd say that was a brilliant maneuver then, Like, I don't know if you necessarily could pull something like that against AS, but I just feel like seeing a 97% Oxide just doesn't feel right, There's a point at which maybe he should have been tossing a little bit more SRMs downfield and trying to put some more pressure,
maybe at least trying to peel that
4X
Raven
off him.
Ravens.
Go attack the Raven. Go get that 4X off your rear torso there. That would be a good move as well. And I think the Firestarter would have actually been a better choice to do that because of the jump jets. But there's definitely room for improvement there. But overall, I don't think HHOD did that bad considering the level of opponent that they're playing. I think that they should feel pretty good about that one, to be perfectly honest. If just to put it bluntly, based on what we know of the two teams and their prior histories coming into this, I would say Antari Scorpions was incredibly favored to win this
Yeah.
just handily. And the fact that HHOD was able to make a match out of it, that's impressive, and I think HHOD should take pride in that and try and refine that even more, and they could make a name for themselves in the comp scene. So well played by HHOD. Antari Scorpions, very clean as always. Well done. Always a pleasure watching you guys. But we're gonna head to the break, and we will catch you guys after the break for Drop 6. Thanks for sticking around. See you in a bit.